So tell us about your service history.
Well, I recently completed my colour service, 22 years with the Royal Artillery Air Defence. Majority of it spent in UK. I did my last 3 years as an instructor in Germany before I step into civilian life.
What support did you receive from the forces?
I was entered onto a transitional workshop where I was shown how to lay out and write a CV, which was helpful because I'd never had to do that before. And I was shown where to look and how to look on the websites for potential employers and courses. And we were offered funding for courses up to £5,000, which I used part of to do my ECDL, which is electronic driving licence, because I wasn't that computer literate, which is very important out in civilian street.
And before you left, how did you feel?
Well, initially highly confident because I was told among my peers as well as on the workshop that I was highly employable. I had lots of transferable skills, and I knew when I left I would have a bit of money, my gratuity, which would allow me to take a bit of time out before actively looking for employment, which I did.
So what were your biggest challenges on leaving?
Basically finding somewhere to live and full-time employment, which I thought might be slightly easier given my background.
What issues did you face when finding housing?
Well, I approached my local council initially for council accommodation, and even though I've served 22 years in the military, I was told I'd have to wait 2 to 3 years for council accommodation. I then looked at a private lease. Even though I had enough money to fund a private lease, I was told I had to be in full-time employment before even a landlord would even consider me for private lease, which was a challenge. Well, basically, I was homeless, and if it hadn't been for my close family, my 80-year-old father, for instance, who lives in a 2-bedroom flat, he took me and my partner in for several months. So initially, I found a job, and then found accommodation.
And tell us a bit about your job searching experience.
Well, over a 3 to 4 month period, I approached the job centre, which were less than helpful. I then applied online when I got access to the internet, which was limited. I then looked through the local papers and applications and applied by mail, and then canvassed family and friends looking for employment. Again, came to nothing.
How did it make you feel?
It put a lot of pressure on the relationship with my partner, who was a German national. She was going to leave. There was going to be a split. It was like wading through treacle looking for employment, and basically desperation set in.
So what did you do then?
Well, out of desperation, basically I run off 100 hard copies of my CV, and I went out every morning knocking on every business door and industrial estate between here and Cardiff. It resulted in one interview, which eventually went nowhere, and I stumbled across Hire a Hero through passing out my CV, luckily, and I'm thankful.
So what support would have helped you get through that crazy time?
Well, the support that really would have helped would be somebody to make me understand this world. There is a difference. A sounding board, someone to speak to, and bounce ideas off, and someone to basically guide me in the right direction.